Good morning, and thank you everybody for joining us. And I appreciate that we are a global sustainability network, and I think we spent an extra half an hour networking, and I'm glad we had that time. I'm really happy today because Bishop Sanchez is here today. He's the first three people, myself, Bishop Sanchez, and Bishop Alastair, got together after the announcement of SDGs. And I remember sitting outside under construction Palazzo Versace Hotel in Dubai with Bishop Alastair and calling Bishop Sanchez on a Sunday, asking him that, do you think that Pope Francis would give the go ahead to create this organization? And he said, I'm going to be seeing him, I'll let you know. And within a couple of hours after that, he said, yes, we have the full support. And we got together and we worked together on creating Global Sustainability Network. I met Bishop Sanchez before that, when myself and a very dear friend, Andrew Forrest, embarked on this journey. And I must thank Andrew and appreciate his effort, dedication, and commitment to working on this subject for such a long time. He really put his effort, attention, money on this way before many people did. So I think tribute to him and what he's doing. We went to the Vatican and we went to see Cardinal Turkson, who took us to Bishop Sanchez in Pontifical Academy. And then after that, not too long after that, Bishop Sanchez showed us an envelope, and in the back of that envelope was a comment from Pope Francis. So this history of GSN started that time. I think that was 2013, if I'm not mistaken. While it makes me so happy to see everybody here, I thought today I will just share with you guys how I feel about this whole discussion. I'm not too happy with where we are. We're working on it together for at least 11 years, separately for even longer. We haven't really made that much of a difference. We have people like Kevin, who's here, who's really dedicated his career on working on this subject. He was the first commissioner for human trafficking and ending slavery over here. He's traveled around the world. He's relentlessly working on this subject. Bishop Alastair, doing his... Bishop Alastair, again, did everything in such a humble way, bringing people together with his wisdom. So there's no doubt about the commitment that many people have. But the reality is that commitment of a few people will not make a difference, because we can see it. It's not making a difference. Today, more people know about this subject, but more people are still saying, oh, really? The slavery still exists? I hear this in developed world. I think we're just talking about somebody who said, I never thought slavery existed in UK. I thought this is something in Africa and Asia. So the awareness is not there. There are many organizations spending a lot of money on this subject because there are people with good heart. There are people who cannot see children in misery. I mean, kids are kidnapped. Their arms and legs are mutilated. They're made into beggars and they're enslaved by these mafiosas. The children are being trafficked and forced into prostitution. And again, this is happening. Bonded labor exists. And what are we mostly busy with? We are mostly busy with our ego, how to make our life more comfortable and luxurious, and what else don't I have that can prove that I've arrived in the world, right? We don't have enough funds to support people. I mean, we have $1. Every time we spend $1, if we start to think, is this really necessary for me to spend it on myself, or it could help somebody? Just that consciousness alone will change the world. But unfortunately, today while walking over here, I was looking at the great buildings, beautiful buildings here. Few days ago, I was reading about the European invasion of Africa to buy people over there. The biggest attraction Europe had from Africa was to get slaves from Africa to build these beautiful buildings that I walked through. So today, what do we remember? We remember glory, power, and money. We all, including myself, respect and appreciate glory, power, and money. And these are the people who are making G7. These are the people who are making G8, G20, because we don't care where the money comes from. We are now totally numb about people and their background. We have human traffickers sitting amongst us. As long as they land in a Rolls Royce and they live in a mansion, they are part of my invitation list anytime. Right? So we have really lost the conscience of understanding the background and to realize these are the mistakes we are making and this is not acceptable. I really think we need to make a few things not acceptable. I don't want to take money from people who have a tainted background and they have not apologized for what they have done wrong. Or if they're repenting, it's a different thing. But if they are spending money to get glory, I wouldn't want to take money from them. I think none of us should take money from people who are just giving money to legitimize themselves. Right? I think this is what's going on. Even non-profits are now working on a good cause while legitimizing bad behavior. What is leading to a lot of this work that we are seeing? We really work hard and we think that we are making a difference. It's like cleaning the roads and the streets. But then somebody throws trash from the top. And then we keep on cleaning. The non-profits are working on it, but this trash is being thrown by the conflicts around the world. When that happened in Syria, when that happened in Iraq, when there were people in the refugee camps and children being sold for 100, 150 euros, they were all created by conflicts. And these conflicts were created by global nations, the nations, powerful nations, for more money, more power, more energy, and we really don't care about it. I think it's about time we start addressing where the problems are coming from. There are 28 active conflicts around the world. Kevin highlighted this point that there's over a $500 billion industry of human trafficking and slavery. And the total spend, if I'm not, is around $1 billion. And out of that, $250 million come from US. So you do know what the problem is, but we don't have money to fight the problem because we are busy spending that money on having those conferences. If you just see how much money we spend on having conferences alone, is a lot more than actually making an impact. The governments are spending that much. The law enforcement does not have the money. So I really want to urge you guys that help us fight this subject. It's very easy for us to not continue doing it. By 2030, 193 nations have signed we will achieve this objective. I'm ashamed. I come from a country which has got no intention of achieving their commitment. Right? Nations are not only working on it. Last year event over here, we discussed that UN was supposed to discuss achievement on SDG 8. They decided they don't have enough data. So we decided not to discuss it. We have enough data on the temperature of the surface of Mars, but we don't have enough data of these people who every country in the world publishes their job rates, their crime rate. Everything is available. We just don't have the interest. You see, it makes me sad to see that such an important subject, and we just have 30, 40 people here right now. You know why? Because it's no longer sexy to work on human trafficking. It's no longer sexy to work on ending slavery, because nowadays money is on climate change. So a lot of foundations are now focused on climate change because that invites me to places I meet who's who. I mean, I met with somebody in New York talking about net zero. They are talking about the world should have clean energy. Do you all think we should have clean energy? I just want to hear from you. How many of you think that the world should have clean energy? Can you just see something, right? Now, the biggest problem that was discussed is we should have sanctions against China. So why? So because they're making the solar panels too cheap. This way we have clean energy everywhere. So we should have sanctions against China because we don't want clean energy everywhere. Why is that? It's because, no, that's against the principle of, capitalism. Okay. So we are really conflicted that are we really fighting towards clean energy or are we really trying to promote the exports of our countries, right? So I really doubt the intentions of a lot of people who take a very good cause and then convert that for their own benefits. So I go back to all of you today, asking all of you to please pay attention to this program that Bishop Alastair, Sarah, and the team has curated for today. I really want you all to join us in making that difference because we are losing the battle. We will give up if we are not able to make the difference. So please, let's not give up. Let's fight this horrendous crime against humanity, like Pope Francis also says. So I ask you guys once again to join us, help all the organizations. I'm asking all organizations to come together, work collaboratively. We will not be able to make impact by ourselves. We need to have collective impact. Thank you very much. Thank you.